and then mop up one area in the south was the start, and after that was done, mop up in the north. The division would follow behind, occupy terrain. We would train the division in situ in defensive positions, etc. But we were never allowed to execute the entire operation. So in 1 month, we took back terrain larger than Belgium from Boko Haram. We were not allowed to finish because it came at a time when governments were in the process of changing. I think President Jonathan's government possibly saw the entire Boko Haram contract, if we call it that, almost as a last gasp in order to regain popularity. The incoming president, President Buhari, was heavily supported by a foreign government, and one of the first missions was to terminate our contract.
Could you name that foreign government?
Yes, we were told it was the United States, and they had actually funded President Buhari's campaign. The campaign manager for President Buhari came from the US, and I'm not saying that the United States is bad. I understand foreign interests, but I would have thought that a threat such as Boko Haram on the integrity of the state of Nigeria ought to be actually a priority. It wasn't.
Why do you think the US would intervene to abort such operation?
Again, I can't answer that. I think that the US can answer, but what I've come to realize, that is when a government's foreign interests clash with the state's own domestic interests, conflict is bound to ensue. And those conflicts usually just continue with no end. And we can look at all the conflicts in Africa where foreign forces have come in, they've prolonged those conflicts, they haven't ended those conflicts. And the amount of money and manpower and equipment thrown at those conflicts says to me that something is wrong if no end result is achieved. And surely that end result should be to end the conflict and establish a basis for negotiations, come to an agreement, and then re-establish governance. But that's not what's happening in Africa.
How much did you charge the Nigerian government?
Well, first of all, we didn't charge the Nigerian government. And I think here that is a question the Nigerian government can answer. We were one subcontractor. So in other words, the Nigerian government appointed a contractor, and we contracted to that contractor as their subcontractor. So I think that's all I'll say. If you're really interested in the figures, that's for the Nigerian government to discuss.
I, as a retired general and a former head of state, have always known about our soldiers. They are capable, they are well-trained, patriotic, brave, and always ready to do their duty in the service of our country. But in the matter of this insurgency, our soldiers have neither received the necessary support nor the required incentives to tackle this problem. The government has also failed in any effort towards a multidimensional response to this problem, leading to a situation in which we have now become dependent on our neighbors to come to our rescue. Let me assure you that if I am elected president, the world will have no cause to worry about Nigeria as it has so recently. That Nigeria will return to its stabilizing role in West Africa. We will pay special attention to the welfare of our soldiers in and out of service. We will give them adequate and modern arms and ammunition to work with. We will improve intelligence gathering and border patrols to choke Boko Haram's financial and equipment channels. We will be tough on terrorism and tough on its root causes by initiating a comprehensive economic development plan, promoting infrastructural development, job creation, agriculture and industry in the affected areas. We will always act on time and not allow problems to irresponsibly fester. And I, Muhammad Buhari, will always lead from the front.
Let's begin the conversation with Dr. Baba Ahmed on the position of the Northern Elders Forum. You are the spokesperson of the Elders Forum in the North. You're asking the president to resign. Have things come to that point?
Certainly. The facts on the ground support what we say. The president swore on the Quran as president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to secure the lives of citizens. He has failed to do so over and over and over again. This is his sixth year in office. The situation under him is getting worse, and there is no indication that it is likely to improve. So what else is there? What else is left other than to ask him that if there is honor in democratic countries, in civilized countries, what leaders who fail to protect citizens, particularly at the scale and the level at which our people are dying, is to resign. Clearly, he has failed in the number one responsibility of a leader, which is to protect citizens. So yes, things have gone, they are worse than this, but we've taken our time to assess the situation. We didn't want to rush to judgment. We wanted to give him a chance. Like everybody says, leadership is very difficult. He has a very challenging responsibility, but 4, 5, 6, 7 years. The same president was saying 2 years before he assumed responsibility, he was saying to Jonathan to step aside and give him all others responsibility to run the country. So he's had a lot of time to study the situation. He's a general. He's the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. He's a military man, so he doesn't have an excuse about not knowing how to fight wars. He put people in charge. They're still in charge. We're losing this war. More internal security challenges are becoming manifest. More people are dying. Every single day, people die in this country. Life, truly, as we said in our statement, life has lost a value. One individual was kidnapped. One American citizen was kidnapped somewhere in Niger or northern Nigeria. The U.S. sent military to Niger Republic, to Nigeria, with the consent of our Nigerian troops. Foreign Americans came into our country and rescued the person. What do you say to the Nigerian president under whom our people are dying? How do you explain what happened in Borno? A failure of security, a failure of leadership? What else do you say other than to say to Mr. President, clearly, you can't secure the lives of Nigerians. And if there is honor, if there is respect for public opinion, really there is no reason why he should continue.